Heartwarming moment, single dad's life changed when interviewer revealed incredible opportunity. Jake leaned against the doorframe of their small living room, watching Lily, his 10-year-old daughter, twirling around with unabashed joy. Her laughter floated through the air like the sweetest melody, cutting through the weight of anxiety that clung to him like a heavy fog. That afternoon felt especially charged. He could almost feel the world shifting beneath his feet as he prepared for the interview that could change their lives forever. Every toy scattered across the floor, every brightly colored drawing taped to the refrigerator reminded him of the love and danger of dreams, both his and hers. Today was not just another step in his scattered journey of part-time jobs and sleepless nights. It was an open door to the nonprofit world, a place Jake believed could truly make a difference. The thought made his heart race. He placed a hand on his chest, feeling the rhythm of hope quickening. Thoughts of what he could provide for Lily, her dreams, her future spurred him forward. He pictured her bright smile when he sacrificed late nights at work, and each time a bill came in, he ensured it didn't dim. "Daddy, look what I made." Lily's voice snapped him back. She held up a painting, splashed with vibrant colors, a wild, imaginative scene with unicorns dancing in a sea of stars. "You like it?" "It's amazing, Lil. You're going to be a famous artist one day." He knelt to her level, trying to push aside his growing worry. "Right? But do you think I can also be a scientist?" She leaned closer, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Of course." He laughed, but suddenly, the walls of their modest home felt like they were closing in, each corner filled with the dents of unpaid bills hovering ominously. As he embraced Lily and pulled her close, he felt the weight of all that needs to happen, the sacrifices that might push them apart rather than keep them together. The interview was like navigating a stormy sea. Jake's heart pounded relentlessly against his ribcage, yet he pushed through. The panel of interviewers, a mix of business-like seriousness and heartfelt curiosity, watched him. They asked questions, and he answered, weaving loyalty to his daughter and an unyielding sense of purpose into every response. Then came the moment, the potential game-changer. The interviewer leaned forward, lowering their voice. "We also have a mentorship program for individuals eager to lead positive change in their communities." Hope bloomed within him, but it was tinged with dread as reality crashed in. He pictured his cushy job as stability disappearing behind him, as if he were staring out a window at a life he always wanted but might have to leave her to fully embrace. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue." Squeezing his eyes shut, he felt the full weight of his dilemma. Choosing this job would mean saying goodbye to their life here, leaving Lily's laughter echoing through the walls of a home that felt more like a sanctuary now than ever before. Could he reconcile ambition with their bond? As he stepped out of that conference room onto the bustling Chicago streets, a storm of emotions swept through him. Fear and excitement tangled together in his chest. Jake crossed his arms tightly, caught between the promise of a brighter future and the part of him that just wanted to stay rooted where Lily's dreams were painted on the walls. He faced a crossroads, and uncertainty flooded his mind. Would pursuing personal success rip apart the very fabric of the family he cherished? Jake took a deep breath, the coolness of the evening air wrapping around him like a blanket, but it did little to ease the turmoil inside. He focused on the sounds of the city, the rhythmic honks, laughter spilling from nearby cafes, and the faint strum of a street musician. All moments of life moving on, yet he felt frozen in place, battling an avalanche of thoughts swirling in his head. He leaned against a graffiti-splattered brick wall, the vibrant colors contrasting sharply with the grayness of his worries. Could he really walk away from the life they had built? The prospect of the mentorship program danced like a flame in his mind, promising to ignite change not just in him, but in the community. Yet, at what cost? Jake's phone vibrated in his pocket, snapping him from his reverie. It was a text from his sister, Sarah, thinking of you. Hope everything went well today. Call me when you can. He stared at the screen, wishing for her advice, but he couldn't voice what weighed heavily on his heart. Instead, he typed a quick reply, thanks. Will do. As he made his way back home, the streets felt different. The city lights illuminated the way, but the shadows in him loomed larger. The image of Lily's unicorn painting flashed through his mind, full of dreams, colors, and hope. What would happen if he chased his dreams and left her behind in this familiar place? Later that evening, in the living room filled with the scent of pasta simmering on the stove, Jake watched Lily work on another art project. She was focused, her brow furrowed in concentration as she glued scraps of paper and sequins onto a cardboard canvas. It was a quiet kind of magic, her creativity unfolding before him. Daddy, can I show you my masterpiece when it's done? Lily glanced up, a smudge of glue on her nose, and he couldn't help but smile. Absolutely, Lil. I can't wait to see it. As he stirred the pasta, an inner voice nagged at him. How could he balance the dreams of a father and the expectations of a career? Just as he set down the spoon, the phone rang. It was the non-profit organization calling back. His heart seized, and instinct told him to answer. Hello. He managed to say, each syllable a jumble of hope and dread. Hi, Jake. This is Jenna from the interview panel. We were impressed with your application and wanted to offer you a position in our mentorship program. His heart soared, then plummeted. When he hung up, he felt a mix of elation and an overwhelming wave of dread wash over him. He had a decision to make, and it was now staring him right in the face. The offer could change everything, but what about Lily? Who was that? She asked, her curious eyes lifting from her project. Jake's mind raced, the right words eluding him. How could he explain something that felt so earth-shattering? Instead, he managed a smile and said, just a job opportunity, sweetie. She smiled back, blissfully unaware of the chaos churning within him. There was relief in her innocence, a reminder of the joy they built together. But shadows loomed outside their bubble, slipping in around the edges. Can we have a family night tomorrow? Just you and me? Of course we can. He replied, his heart giving an involuntary tug. But that impending change was gnawing at him like a dog with a bone. The next few hours blurred into indecision, his thoughts racing between dreams and realities as he tucked Lily in bed. He brushed a strand of hair from her face, marveling at the peace that radiated from her small frame. Good night, Lil. I love you. Love you too, Daddy. She mumbled sleepily. As Jake stepped into the dim hallway, he was struck again by that gnawing uncertainty. He found himself at a crossroads. One path glittered with potential, while the other was anchored by love. Which one would he choose? Tomorrow would bring clarity, or so he hoped. But in his heart, he knew a decision would come with a price. What would it mean to follow a dream? And would Lily still have a father if he did? The morning light filtered through the curtains, casting a soft glow in Lily's room. Jake stood over her while she slept, the peaceful rise and fall of her chest making his heart ache with a sense of both love and guilt. He wished he could pause time, wrap them both in this moment, and never let go. After yesterday's call, the weight of the decision pressed firmly on his shoulders. He had spent most of the night tossing and turning, trying to find a clear answer, but all he had was a swirling fog of possibilities. The mentorship program represented an opening, a chance to mold the lives of others just as he hoped to shape Lily's future. But at what risk? Would he be leaving her to face the world without the guidance she deserved? The smell of pancakes wafted in from the kitchen, and he could hear the fridge door swing as Lily's small feet pattered across the floor. In that instance, he felt that familiar tug against his heart, a blend of happiness and dread. Good morning, Daddy. She squeaked, her hair tousled and her face lighting up with joy. Morning, sunshine, he grinned, pouring syrup over a stack of pancakes. It was their favorite ritual, one that always started their weekends right. As they sat down together, Lily's laughter filled the air, a bright contrast to the uncertainty swirling in Jake's mind. He watched her, noticing how she expertly stacked her pancakes and adorned them with berries, pride sparkling in her eyes. "Are you excited for family night?" she asked, her little voice bringing him back from the depths of his thoughts. "Absolutely. What do you want to do?" She bounced in her chair, her enthusiasm infectious. "Can we watch that dinosaur movie again? With the singing and dancing?" "Sure thing, kiddo. Anything for a princess." They finished breakfast with playful banter, but in his heart, Jake could feel the storm brewing. Family night was a reminder of what he stood to lose, and yet, it was also a glimpse of the joy they shared. He struggled to frame the options in his head. Would one night with Lily be enough to fill the void of adventure he craved? Moments later, they were cleaning up together, and Lily's gentle hand brushed against his arm. "Daddy, can I ask you something?" "Of course, what's on your mind?" Her brows knitted together as if searching for the right words. "If you had to pick between a job that makes you happy and a job that means I could have more unicorns, which one would you choose?" He paused. The innocence in her question struck him like a bolt of lightning. How could he ever explain that chasing his dreams didn't mean diminishing her happiness? "I guess I want both, Lily. I want you to have all the unicorns and to be happy, too." Her eyes sparkled, and she nodded, seemingly satisfied with his answer. But Jake couldn't shake the feeling swirling in his chest. He wanted to be the kind of father who could provide not just financially, but emotionally. As they stepped outside later for a walk, the world around them buzzed with life. Families strolled together, kids played with wild abandon, and the sun bathed everything in warmth. Jake watched Lily run ahead, her laughter trailing after her. Suddenly, his phone buzzed again. A text from Jenna, the interview panel leader, reading, "Excited to see you at tomorrow's program launch meeting. Let's discuss the impact you could make." His heart raced. This was it, the moment that would either set them on a new path or keep things just as they were. "Daddy! Look at that!" Lily shouted, her finger pointing at a street performer drawing a crowd. He turned to see her enraptured by the spectacle. With each twist and turn, she was mesmerized, and it dawned on him that she too was dreaming of a world full of wonder. Could he, in some way, show her that chasing dreams was not just for adults? Could he blend their lives together, making a choice that would allow him to chase his dream while still being the father she needed? The air was electric with possibilities, but uncertainty loomed large. He took a deep breath, feeling the weight of his future bearing down. What if he could make it all work? What if he could inspire her while still being her dad? As they walked away, hand in hand, an unexpected thought flickered in his mind. Maybe, just maybe, the answer lay in taking a courageous leap that combined both paths. But would he be brave enough to take it? The sun hung high in the sky, casting long shadows as Jake and Lily made their way through the park. Children's laughter danced in the air, blending with the chirps of birds and the rustle of leaves. Each step felt like a tick on a clock, reminding Jake that time was slipping away. "Can we go to the swings?" Lily asked, her face lighting up with the idea. "Of course," he replied, trying to shake off the weight bearing down on him. He pushed thoughts of the meeting aside, focusing on each moment with her instead. When they reached the swings, Lily jumped on, her laughter ringing out as she took flight into the air. Jake smiled, watching her with a mix of joy and looming fear. He remembered the times before Lily when he felt lost, searching for meaning. Now, she brought purpose to his life. "Push me, Daddy. Higher." She called out, her voice a melody. He grabbed the swing's chains and thrust her into the sky, feeling like he could lift all his worries with each push. The wind whipped through her hair, and it was moments like this that made every second worth it. "Look at me." She giggled, kicking her feet out. I'm flying. Just then, Jake's phone vibrated in his pocket again. Each buzz felt like a drum beating in his chest. With a gentle sigh, he reached for it, his heart sinking when he spotted the name. Jenna. It was a reminder of the gravity of the choice ahead. Stay right there. I'll be back in a sec. He called to Lily as he stepped away to answer it. Okay. She shouted, still swinging, oblivious to the growing turmoil in his heart. Hey, Jake, Jenna's voice came through, crisp and clear. I just wanted to touch base before the meeting tomorrow. I have some great ideas to discuss with you. Sounds good, he managed, his words feeling distant. I'm looking forward to it. Just so you know, Jenna continued. We're looking for someone who can lead, someone with a vision. No pressure, but you'd be a fantastic fit. Jake felt his heart race. The words lead and vision echoed in his mind, bouncing between his desires and his responsibilities. What if he did take the leap? He could help others while still being there for Lily. But would it be enough? He glanced back at her, the sunlight illuminating her joyful face. She was his everything. Jake, Jenna's voice broke through his reverie. I can't wait to see what you'll bring to the table. Remember, it's your choice. Follow your passion and keep your family close. Thanks, I appreciate it, he said, trying to sound enthusiastic but feeling a pit of doubt alongside his dream. When he hung up, he watched Lily defy gravity, her glee contagious. But uncertainty wrapped around him like a cold fog. Could he really balance his ambitions with his role as a father? Lily. He called, hurrying back to her. Let's try something new. After swings, how about we set up a little art project at home? Her eyes brightened with excitement. Yes. Can we paint unicorns? Absolutely, he grinned, feeling a warm rush of affection course through him. It was moments like these that reminded him of the joy they shared. As they turned to head home, Jake felt his heart swell. Maybe he could build a future that allowed him to chase aspirations while nurturing Lily's dreams. Maybe he was closer to finding a path that intertwined their journeys. But again, that unanswered question lingered: was it really possible to achieve his goals without losing the irreplaceable time with her? And as they walked, hand in hand, Jake couldn't shake the feeling that tomorrow's meeting would change everything. For better or worse, he didn't know yet. Would he find the courage to follow both his heart and his dreams? The door swung open, and a sweet aroma of paint filled the small kitchen. Jake prepared the art station, laying out brushes, paper, and a palette of colors. He could hear Lily's footsteps echoing on the wooden floor as she danced around, the pure joy radiating from her making him smile. Look, Daddy! I found my apron! She exclaimed, twirling in her bright pink smock, proudly displaying the splashes of paint from previous creations. Perfect! You'll be a masterpiece in the making, he teased, handing her a brush. As they settled on the floor, the table cluttered with art supplies, Jake felt a flicker of hope. This was what mattered. The freedom to create, to be silly, to enjoy every moment. What color do you want for the unicorn? He asked, dipping his brush into a plethora of vibrant hues. Sparkly purple. Lily shouted, her eyes lighting up with enthusiasm. Great choice. Jake laughed as he mixed the colors. They painted together, Lily's laughter blending with his gentle encouragement. Each stroke felt therapeutic, a way to drown out the anxieties creeping back into his mind. As they worked side by side, the outside world faded, and for a while, it was just them. Did you ever paint a unicorn when you were little? She asked, her focus fully on the canvas. Jake paused, the question striking him unexpectedly. I think I might have, yes. But not as beautiful as yours. He watched her paint, each swirl of purple radiant and wild. Why didn't you keep doing it? She probed, tilting her head like a curious puppy. He hesitated. Well, life got busy. I had to focus on other things. Like work? She asked innocently, a little furrow forming on her brow. Yeah, like work, he nodded, a heaviness settling in his chest. You should paint more, Daddy. Then you can do it with me all the time. Her words wrapped around him like a warm blanket. Maybe she was right. He wasn't just a father, he had his dreams, too. Maybe I will, he said, inspired by her unwavering support. But as he dipped the brush into the paint, another buzz from his phone interrupted the moment. Anxiety swarmed again. It was the reminder of the meeting tomorrow. Can I go see what it is? He asked, knowing her answer might not match his desire for uninterrupted playtime. Okay, but hurry back. The unicorn needs a rainbow. Jake smiled, letting her innocence pull him back from the brink of dread. I will. Just hang tight. He stepped away, glancing at the screen. It wasn't Jenna but a text from his friend Mark. You ready for the big meeting? You'll rock it. His heart sank. Rock it? He mumbled to himself. Would he? He felt torn. Mark's message was supposed to uplift him, but it only highlighted the conflict he felt. How could he rock it when he felt such a pull toward being present with Lily? After a moment, Jake put the phone down. He returned to the kitchen, sitting cross-legged beside Lily, who had now moved on to applying glitter. Did you see the unicorn? She asked, eyes wide and hopeful. I did. It's amazing. Now it needs sparkle. She declared, sprinkling glitter all over like confetti. I think it might be the sparkliest unicorn in the world, he chuckled, their laughter filling the room. Jake's heart swelled with pride. This was what true happiness looked like, colorful messiness and carefree moments. But the shadows of the future lingered, whispering doubts at the back of his mind. What if chasing his dreams meant he lost time like this with her? Would he always feel like he was dropping something precious? Daddy? Lily's voice cut through his thoughts, pulling him back to the present. Yes, sweetheart. Can we always paint together? He felt a wave of emotion rise in his chest. Of course. Always. No matter what. But the question remained, could he promise that when the world outside was demanding so much? The weight on his heart seemed heavier than ever, but just then, amid the glitter and paint, Jake felt a new resolve forming, a wish to protect these moments fiercely. And as they continued painting, he couldn't help but wonder if the meeting would provide a way to secure more time like this. Or if it would jeopardize everything he held dear. Would he find that balance, or would the choices he made create a divide too hard to bridge? The laughter echoed in the warm kitchen, wrapping Jake in a cocoon of comfort, but beneath the happy chaos, uncertainty loomed. He watched Lily sprinkle glitter over her masterpiece, brilliant flecks catching the sunlight filtering through the window. They both knew the moment wouldn't last forever. Daddy, look! My unicorn is magical. Lily squealed, practically bouncing in place. Absolutely magical, just like you. Jake couldn't help but smile wider, feeling the irony of their little bubble. How far removed they were from the world outside, a world filled with deadlines and expectations. But that was the heart of it, wasn't it? Here, with paint-stained hands and joy in their hearts, they were free. What's a magical unicorn's wish? Lily asked suddenly, her imagination firing like a spark. Jake took a deep breath, brushing his paintbrush across the edge of the canvas. Maybe it wishes for adventures. Adventures? Lily's eyes sparkled with excitement. Yeah. Like flying over rainbows and meeting fairies. Exactly. And what would your unicorn wish for next? He encouraged, truly captivated by her boundless creativity. She scrunched her tiny nose in thought. Maybe a friend to paint with? Jake's heart warmed even more. Her choice of words felt like a gentle reminder about the connections they formed each little moment painting their lives together with love. Then let us make sure that unicorn has the best art buddy. He exclaimed, bringing his brush close to hers. But then the phone buzzed again, shattering the moment. Jake glanced at the screen, anxiety prickling at the nape of his neck. It was a work email this time, a reminder of the conference calls, budget talks, and those grim deadlines creeping closer. His heart sank again. Just a boring message. Nothing important, he said, trying to reassure himself and Lily, who was watching him closely. Can I see? She asked, cocking her head, her curiosity unfiltered. No, sweetheart, it's really nothing. He forced a smile and turned his attention back to the canvas. Let us finish your unicorn, okay? Lily seemed satisfied with this answer, but the moment hung heavily in the air. Jake felt torn again. How could he fully engage with her while feeling the tug of obligation and responsibility? The push and pull between a father's love and his job was exhausting. As they painted, Jake couldn't shake the thought that loomed in the back of his mind. Tomorrow's meeting could change everything. Would he get the promotion that promised stability, or was it just another step deeper into the rat race? Daddy, why don't you want to paint more? Lily's tiny voice shattered his thoughts, making him look down at her innocent face, serious yet filled with wonder. He paused, trying to gather his words. I want to, Lily. I want to paint and share these moments with you. What is stopping you? She asked, genuine confusion knitting her brows. What could he say? That adulthood brought responsibilities that often edged out dreams. He wanted to tell her that pursuing what truly mattered often felt daunting. Instead, he bore a smile, hoping to reflect her joy. Sometimes, we just forget how important it is to follow what makes us happy, he finally replied softly. Then don't forget anymore. She said, her intensity surprising him. You promised we'd always paint together. A rush of love, mixed with guilt, bubbled inside Jake. You're right. I'll try harder, promise. As the vibrant colors swirled on the canvas, Jake found himself lost in thought, realizing that maybe, just maybe, the meeting could lead him to the balance he yearned for. But there was something deeper lying in the back of his mind, a nagging fear of the choices he had to make. The painting was just as important as the promotion. Couldn't he both be true? In that moment, the art, the laughter, the sparkly unicorn, all felt like fragile glass, beautiful but so easily shattered. How could he protect these fleeting moments while still fighting for a better life? As the afternoon sun began to set, casting shadows in the kitchen, Jake made a silent vow. Tomorrow, he would step into that office ready to change everything. But first, he needed to finish one last thing. What if our unicorn needs a friend? Lily suddenly asked again, eyes gleaming with inspiration. An even more magical friend, Jake agreed, feeling excitement bubbling within him again. What would that look like? How would an adventure shift his life? He could hardly wait to find out. The next morning dawned with a strange mix of excitement and dread. Jake stood in front of the bathroom mirror, the warm light making everything feel like a fresh start, while the heaviness in his chest anchored him back to reality. Today's meeting wasn't just another corporate obligation, it had the potential to change everything for Lily and him. He could already hear her laughter echoing in his mind, a sweet reminder of what was truly important. Just remember, Daddy. Paint with me. She had said before bed, her little voice lilting with innocence. He could feel it, a promise etched in the air between them, alive with possibilities. As he dressed, Jake rehearsed his answers in his head, mentally navigating the questions he expected to face. His stomach twisted in knots as he considered the weight of his choices. The job promised financial stability, but at what cost? When had he become a man who needed to choose between his daughter's dreams and his own survival? He sighed and brushed the thought aside, focusing instead on the draw of the art studio they had created in their kitchen. Remember the magic. Lily's insistence from the night before echoed in his thoughts as he grabbed his briefcase, resolve hardening like paint drying on canvas. Dropping Lily off at her daycare was always bittersweet, but today felt different. It was as if she sensed something important was at stake. Daddy, I'll paint a magical friend for your unicorn," she announced proudly, her face aglow. "I can't wait to see it, sweetheart," he replied, a warm smile breaking through his earlier apprehensions. "Make it sparkle." After a quick hug, he watched her skip happily through the door, her backpack bouncing with each step. As he turned to walk away, something bubbled up inside him. An unexpected surge of determination. He wouldn't just chase a job today, he would chase a vision, a life where he could paint, laugh, and create beautiful moments with Lily. The office was exactly as he remembered, sterile gray walls, the lingering smell of burnt coffee, and hurried footsteps that swirled with an undercurrent of tension. Each cubicle seemed to pulse with the visual of exhaustion, each worker bound to their desk like prisoners of their ambitions. He took a deep breath, fighting the unease that threatened to take root. He was not just another nameless employee today, he was a father ready to reclaim his future. When he stepped into the conference room, the atmosphere shifted slightly. Dressed in their sharp suits, his colleagues were all too aware of what this moment represented, a way up or a dead end. "Glad you could join us, Jake," his supervisor said, offering a nod of acknowledgement. As he took a seat, he noticed that the relaxed air shifted ever so subtly, hinting at tension behind professional masks. The meeting commenced, a flurry of jargon, data, and ambitions filling the space. Each presentation slide flickered like a reeling movie, but Jake's focus drifted intermittently to thoughts of Lily and the painted world they created together. What kind of life would they have if he took this path? Stability often felt like a gilded cage. And now we'll hear from Jake, who has been working on a promising new strategy. His supervisor's voice shook him from reverie, and the spotlight fell on him. "Right," Jake murmured, his heart racing. He took a steadying breath and felt a surge of resolve flood through him. "I believe we have the opportunity to innovate rather than just stabilize." He found his footing with every word, weaving a vision that blended ambition with a reminder of personal value. "We can create a better work-life balance by integrating our artistic insights into our marketing strategies." As he spoke, Jake could almost see Lily standing beside him, paintbrush in hand, ready to add strokes of brilliance to the drab confines of reality. He could feel their shared passion and purpose igniting within him, pushing through the corporate din. The room fell silent as he finished, and for a heartbeat, time stood still. Then the clapping started, a ripple that filled the space, breaking the tension like a breath of fresh air. Jake's heart swelled. But just as he began to feel buoyed by the response, security slipped back in. What if it wasn't enough? What if he stirred hope only to be met with a grim analysis? The meeting wrapped up with nods and murmurs, but a weight shifted within him. He had taken a bold step, daring to blend dreams with responsibilities. As he left the room, uncertainty shadowed him like a stubborn ghost. Lily's imaginary friend awaited his return, and the question rang clear: once he embraced this change, would he be able to navigate the spectrum of success without losing sight of what truly mattered? As he stepped outside, the weight of the world felt both lighter and heavier. The potential for his new life dazzled him. What might happen next? Would his vision create not just a place in the office but a canvas for their shared future? Jake glanced up at the sun, feeling the warmth on his face. Maybe today was just the beginning. The sun hung high in the sky as Jake walked to his car, each step both electrifying and shaky. The support from his colleagues blurred into a wash of noise, a mere backdrop to the whirlwind of thoughts swirling in his mind. What had begun as a simple meeting felt like a defining moment, one that could alter not just his career but the very fabric of his life with Lily. As he sat in the driver's seat, his fingers gripped the steering wheel tightly. He closed his eyes for a moment, summoning the image of Lily's bright smile, the way it lit up their little kitchen when they played together. The idea of their magical world built with paints and dreams wrapped around his heart like a warm, protective blanket, even as the fear of uncertainty clawed at him. But then, a ringing phone interrupted his thoughts. The sound startled him. He glanced at the screen. It was Clara, his old college buddy. He hesitated. Clara always had a knack for delivering news that seemed to arrive at just the right moment. With a flick of his thumb, he answered. Jake. Hey. Did I catch you at a bad time? Clara's upbeat voice poured through, and almost immediately he felt a surge of warmth. Hey, Clara. No, I was just. He paused, deciding how much to share. Just got out of a meeting. Oh, the big pitch. How did it go? There was a genuine curiosity in her tone that coaxed Jake's walls down just a little. He took a breath, letting it out slowly. It went well. At least, I think it did. I shared a new strategy that blends creativity with our work. But, I guess we'll see how it goes. That sounds amazing. You've always been great at bringing fresh ideas to the table. Are you feeling hopeful? He almost laughed at the simple question. Hopeful. It felt like a tightrope he was trying to balance on. Yeah, hopeful. But there's a lot on the line. It's not just my job, it's about me being there for Lily. I'm trying to find the right balance. Silence briefly stretched across the line. Jake, I know it's tough. But remember, you have a vision. And you're not alone. You've got a little one rooting for you, right? Clara's voice softened, bringing him back. Yeah, she's my little cheerleader, he said, his lips curving into a smile. Hey, speaking of cheer, I just found out about this local arts festival coming up. They're looking for volunteers and vendors. Think you and Lily could set up a booth for her paintings? It could be a fun way to bring your vision to life. Jake's mind whipped through the idea as if it were a paintbrush gliding across a canvas. An arts festival. That could be an incredible experience for her, for both of us. But I don't know if we're ready for that kind of spotlight. Why not? It's about having fun, right? Plus, it could open doors you never even considered, Clara insisted. His heart raced as the thrill of the possibility began to take shape. Could this be another step toward weaving together the dreams he had for both himself and Lily? I'll think about it, Clara. Thanks for bringing it up. With that, the conversation shifted to lighter topics, laughter spilling from the phone. But as Jake parked and stepped out, he felt that familiar emboldening freeing him from the weight of his decisions. Each new idea was a possibility that beckoned, a stroke of paint waiting to burst into a masterpiece. He entered the daycare, bursting with anticipation, ready to absorb Lily's news of the magical friend she had painted. But as he knelt down to greet her, he could see something in her eyes, a spark. Perhaps today would reveal more than he ever expected. Daddy! Guess what? She squealed, bouncing on her heels. What, princess? I painted a surprise. Her excitement sent a wave of joy through him. Suddenly, his past worries about stability and career felt distant, replaced by her shining eyes, illuminating the path forward. Could this surprise be the catalyst for a journey neither of them saw coming? What would it all mean after they shared a vision of a life painted with dreams, art, and unshakable love? As his heart brimmed with questions and hope, he realized the canvas was still blank. And sometimes, embracing unpredictability was the most beautiful brushstroke of all. Jake's heart raced as he looked into Lily's sparkling eyes, filled with boundless joy and energy. The kind of joy that could fill any room, leave no corner untouched. What is it, sweet pea? He asked, leaning closer, eager to hear about the colorful surprise that had captivated her. I painted a rainbow, she shouted, her small hands animated as they danced through the air, mimicking arcs of color. And a big, fluffy cloud. It's magic, Daddy. You have to see it. His mind painted its own images as he stood up and took her tiny hand. Together, they navigated the bustling daycare, and with every step, Jake felt the weight of the outside world slip away. The colorful walls, the laughter of children, the scent of crayons and playtime all pooled together, creating a cocoon of happiness around them. When they reached her art station, Jake knelt beside her. On the easel stood her masterpiece, a wide, vibrant rainbow stretching across the paper, punctuated by a fluffy cloud centered at the top. It was like looking at the sun breaking through the clouds on a rainy day. "It's beautiful, Lily," he exclaimed, genuine awe painting his voice. "You've captured something special here." She beamed, clearly reveling in his praise. "It's for you, Daddy. So you can remember that after the rain, the sun always shines. Like in our backyard." The nostalgic memory flooded back, an afternoon spent in the warmth of the sun, Lily twirling and giggling while a light rain fell. They had danced together, laughing as they splashed in the puddles, that unforgettable mixture of spontaneity and bliss. With her painting in hand, Jake felt the surge of possibility rushing back in. The idea of the arts festival took root, whispering promises of new adventures. Maybe it wouldn't just be about sharing Lily's art. Perhaps it was about embracing their dreams together, one brushstroke at a time. "I think we should enter your painting into the arts festival, Lily," he suggested, gauging her excitement. "Really? Like, make a booth? With my art?" She bounced eagerly, her enthusiasm brightening the room. "Absolutely. We can set it up together. Think of all the kids who can see your work. Maybe even meet some other artists." He could see her imagination spark, her tiny feet shifting with the anticipation of new possibilities. "But what if they don't like my painting?" Her voice wavered slightly, the first hint of doubt shadowing her bright expression. Jake placed a reassuring hand on her back. "Lily, it doesn't matter if they love it or not. What matters is that you made it with love. And I'll be right there with you, cheering you on, no matter what." She nodded, and the doubt began to lift. "Okay. Let us do it." As they packed up her art supplies, Lily chattered about her favorite color combinations, her imagination alive with every word. Jake felt lighter with each smile and every element of her vibrant personality shining through. The drive home was filled with animated conversations about colors, new techniques, and their plans for the booth. Each anticipation drew them closer to a canvas of hopes and dreams. With every passing moment, he realized how crucial this venture was, not just for Lily's artistic expression, but for the bonds they were nurturing and the memories they were soon to create. Back at home, as they began to brainstorm ideas for the booth, Jake caught a glimpse of Lily holding her paintbrush with determination. He felt a pulse of inspiration. What if they turned their little corner into a real haven of creativity? "Let us paint a sign together. Something big and colorful. What do you think?" he suggested, and her eyes shimmered like stars. "Yes. And with sparkles." Her enthusiasm was infectious. His heart swelled with pride, love, and a lingering sense of adventure. As they gathered materials, the sheer magic of the moment enveloped them. But just as they were about to dive in, the doorbell rang. Jake's heart sank slightly, wondering if the unexpected visitor would disrupt their plans. He opened the door, greeted by the familiar face of their neighbor, Mrs. Collins, holding a large box. "Hello, Jake. I just got back from a yard sale and found something I think your little artist will love." She beamed brightly, presenting the package with both hands. Curiosity piqued, Jake exchanged glances with Lily, their imaginations already racing ahead. What if this was the spark they needed to take their dreams to the next level? What treasures awaited within that box? "Come on in," he said, his voice bubbling with anticipation. With a heart full of dreams and an unexpected turn of events awaiting, the little world they were building together felt fuller, richer, and bursting with potential. Mrs. Collins stepped inside, a warm smile lighting up her face as she placed the box gently on the table. "I thought these might inspire your little artist," she said, winking at Lily, who was practically bouncing with excitement. Jake's heart filled with gratitude. "Thank you, Mrs. Collins. You don't know how much this means to us. Just passing along a little joy." She chuckled, and Jake felt a warmth spread through the room like the glow of a new dawn breaking, promising fresh beginnings. Lily eagerly tore the box open, the anticipation practically crackling in the air. Inside, they discovered a treasure trove: glitter, brushes of all sizes, canvases, and even a set of shimmering paints that seemed to catch the light in magical ways. "Wow! Look, Daddy!" Lily exclaimed, holding up a paintbrush as if it were a priceless artifact. Her eyes sparkled like the stars above, illuminating all the possibilities that lay ahead. Jake knelt beside her, his own excitement bubbling up. "This is incredible. Just what we need for our arts festival booth." As they unpacked the goodies, they began to brainstorm. Paintings adorned the walls of their modest home, each piece a testament to their shared creativity. But now, with new materials, Jake felt a fire igniting in him, a desire not just to support Lily's dreams, but to chase his as well. Inspiration coursed through him like a rushing river, washing away doubts and fears. "Let us create something together right now," he said, rolling up his sleeves. "A big canvas that showcases both your unicorn and my imagination." "Yes. And let us add all the sparkles." Lily cheered, her face lighting up with sheer delight. They quickly prepped the workspace, laying down tarps to catch errant paint splatters, their laughter weaving through the room as they splashed color onto the canvas. Each brushstroke felt liberating, a release of all the weight that had become too heavy to bear. As they painted, Jake couldn't help but marvel at Lily's vibrant spirit and creativity. In that moment, he made a silent promise to blend his dreams with hers, a promise to embrace not just his ambition but the joys that came from nurturing them together. "Look, Daddy! The unicorn is flying!" Lily squealed, adding swirls of color around the mythical creature they had created together. "I love it. And I think this cloud needs some gold lining," Jake suggested, grabbing a brush and mimicking her energy. Hours flew by like moments, transformed into a magical blur of paint, laughter, and love. They shared dreams of becoming real artists, of all the different colors they would discover in their life journey. Later that evening, as they stepped back to admire their finished painting, a radiant glow enveloped the room. The canvas was alive, a magnificent representation of their bond, their creativity woven together in a tapestry of dreams. "All the colors make me feel happy," Lily said, her eyes wide and shimmering. "Me too, sweetheart," he replied, wrapping an arm around her. "This is more than just a painting, it's a snapshot of our adventure together." As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, Jake felt a sense of peace wash over him. He didn't have all the answers, but he was learning to trust the path he was on. Tomorrow would bring the arts festival, and the meeting hadn't vanished from his mind. Yet, in this moment, surrounded by the vibrant colors that represented who they were, it felt possible again, both for him and for Lily. "What will we call our masterpiece?" he asked, turning to her. "How about the Journey of Dreams?" she suggested, her voice filled with wonder. "Perfect. It captures every bit of what this means," Jake said, his heart swelling with pride. The crowd outside for the festival the next day was buzzing with excitement. They set up their booth, displaying their colorful creation proudly at the forefront. As families wandered by, Jake could hardly contain his nerves. Would people appreciate their work? Would they see the love that filled every brushstroke? Lily tugged at his shirt, eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "Look, Daddy! They love it." And just like that, the world outside started to change. Children gathered around their booth, drawn in by the vibrant colors and whimsical creatures. Soon, compliments flooded in, igniting joy in both Jake and Lily. "That's amazing," said one little girl, pointing at the unicorn. "Can I take a picture?" "Of course," Lily replied proudly, her cheeks flushed with happiness. As the hours passed, Jake felt himself transforming. He wasn't just the father standing beside his daughter, he was an artist, a creator, a believer in dreams. With every smile and giggle, he felt the weight lifting, replaced by clarity and hope. By the end of the day, they had sold several paintings, enough to make Lily's eyes widen in disbelief. "We did it, Daddy. We made people happy." "Yes, we did. And we painted a journey together. Jake exclaimed, his heart bursting with pride. As the festival wrapped up, the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over everything. They packed up their booth, giggling and dancing with the lingering excitement of success in the air. In that moment, he realized the truth life isn't just about choices between work and dreams, it's forging paths where both thrive, hand in hand. As they walked home, hand in hand, Jake couldn't help but smile. They had found their way to weave dreams into reality, not just for themselves but for each other. And tomorrow? Tomorrow would bring new adventures, new colors on their canvas of life. Don't forget to sprinkle your dreams with sparkles, Daddy. Lily said with a giggle, and he smiled even wider. I won't forget, Lil. I promise. And together, they returned home, hearts full and minds ablaze with possibilities, ready to chase the dream, brush by brush. This was just the beginning. Now's the time to act. If you're inspired by this transformation, you need to subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories that touch your heart. And hey, leave a like now. It's vital to feed the algorithm and help us bring more uplifting stories to the world. I want to hear from you, so comment below with your reactions and feelings about this ending. Don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Only true fans understand the importance of supporting the channel through these actions. Let's build this community together.